What if I told you being successful and wealthy and being great at sales is not about being charming or persuasive, but learning and mastering a set of fundamentals? So today we're going to learn the basics. We're going to go over some terminology. And this is just to help you start learning the language that is sales, all right? Sales is just like any other subject. It's just like learning how to play the piano. It's just like learning another language. It's just like doing algebra, all right? It's just a system that a lot of us have never been taught. So today, let's cover the basics, learn a little bit of that language of how to create some wealth, how to create some prosperity in our lives. First thing, we got to understand the secret sauce. All right, sales is partially human psychology. So you have to understand there is no magic phrase. There is no silver bullet. There is no perfect incentive that is going to close every single deal automatically. It doesn't exist. Even if you have a great incentive, you got a great thing going on this month, it's not going to close every single deal. All right? Nothing's going to close every single deal. You want to maximize closing your deals. How to get the most deals closed is maintaining what's called C factors. All right, this is your smile, this is your eye contact, and this is your enthusiasm. When you smile, the prospect smiles. This works over the phone too. When you use good eye contact, 7 to 12 seconds of sustained eye contact, you know what that does? Think about when you're talking to somebody. Think about when you're talking to someone you know. And you get the feeling maybe they're not telling the truth. Are their eyes darting around everywhere? Are they looking down? Are they looking to the side? Right? You can kind of pick these things up almost on a subconscious level. But when someone's locked eyes with you, you feel a sense of certainty. You feel a sense of trust. So eye contact is building that trust. Enthusiasm, it sells. That's why all those infomercials have all the crazy people getting super excited. But that's not the enthusiasm that you always need to sell. Some people that works for, hey, have an over-the-top enthusiasm, that works for some people. But having like an undercurrent of enthusiasm, of like believing and having this certainty, because when you're enthusiastic about something, when you actually believe in something, you have a certainty about you. And that's what sales ultimately is transferring that certainty from yourself to the prospect so they sign the deal. So you can have this undercurrent of enthusiasm that's palpable, that you can feel it in the air, right? You don't have to go all over the place. You don't have to be like, oh, today's the deal. You don't have to be like that. You can just sense it. You can just feel it, right? From the person's urgency, from their body language, which we're going to get more into that, and just how they're speaking and how they're presenting themselves. You can feel that enthusiasm in the person. Communication, understanding communication. People remember how you make them feel, not what you say. So great communication starts with body language. Body language is 68% of communication. If you close yourself off versus making yourself open, if you're fidgeting, you put your hands in your pockets versus you're presenting, you're showing everybody you have nothing to hide, right? You're standing up straight versus slouching down and being, a mope, right? Your body language is communicating so much before you even open your mouth, before you even start speaking to someone. So 68% of communication is body language. And people are judging you before they even talk to you, all right? Before you even start that first initial interaction, that first 4 seconds, they see you, they're like making snap judgments about who you are and what you are, and that's all coming off from your body language. That's the energy you're putting out. Tone and inflection, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You've heard that before, right? 25% of communication's tone and its inflection. Wording, verbiage, that's the big fancy word for it, but the words you say, this is only 7%. Right? That's why they say you got to say something 5 times for somebody to remember it, right? Because it's probably more than that, honestly. The words you say don't matter that much. And this is good news for us, because when you're doing a pitch or you're doing a presentation, maybe sometimes you're new, maybe sometimes you've been doing it for a while. You're going to do something that's called messing up. It's normal, okay? You're gonna accidentally go from step 1 to step 3 and you forgot step 2, and then you're gonna go 1, 3, 2, 4, 5. And that's okay if you just keep going, because the customer doesn't know you screwed up. The customer doesn't sit there and practice the pitch and practice the presentation. So the words you say, not that important. How you present it, how excited you are, your body language, what you're emanating, your energy, this is what's more important. Persistence and grit. Persistence plus persistence plus persistence plus persistence plus persistence, that equals success. All right, the universe loves stubborn people. The universe rewards stubborn people. Grit, what is grit? Grit is, getting knocked down, falling off the horse, getting clotheslined off the horse. All right, to having your knees taken out. Right, the world. How's that Rocky quote go? The world's going to beat you down to your knees, right? Grit is keeping going, crawling forward, even in terrible circumstances, in the proverbial S-storm, when things are knocking most people out of the game, right? This is where grit is keeping you, even if you're inching forward, right? You're still moving forward. So you got to have grit, you got to have persistence. These two together, the harder you work, the luckier you're going to get, all right? So if you work hard only when things are real easy, you're going to only get so much, right? But if you're always working hard when things are good, things are not so great, maybe they're more of a learning opportunity at that moment, and you just keep moving forward, keep pushing yourself, this is what's going to set you ahead of so many people. Because a lot of people, they don't have the discipline, they don't have the willpower, they don't have the stamina, they don't have the resilience, they don't have the thick skin, right? They don't secrete the special oil to deal with all the negatives, right? You got to let that stuff wash off you. You just got to, it's like a water off a duck's butt, they used to tell me. That's where that phrase comes from, is the duck goes underwater, they come up and they're dry. Why? Because they secrete the special oil. So you have to do that too. All the negativity, all the rejection, all the no's, that's nothing to you. That's just water off a duck's back. It's nothing, right? Persistence and grit. Law of averages here, the LOA. Sales is a numbers game, all right? You're not going to sign up every single person. We want to, but you're not going to sign up every single person. Every single person you talk to is not going to be the best candidate for your product or service anyways. That's okay. It's a numbers game. If you're prospecting, you're playing the game of large numbers. It's like counting cards, right? You gotta play thousands of hands to get that 1% advantage over the house, right? So if you pitch 100 people, 10 are probably going to listen. 90 of them are going to just say they're busy, right? Or they're not interested, or what they're really telling you is you haven't built enough curiosity or impulse, but they're not going to tell you that to your face, right? But you pitch 100 people with smile, enthusiasm, and eye contact. 10 of them are going to listen. 1 or 2 of them is going to sign up. All right, maybe 3 if you're great, right? Maybe everything falls into place. All the stars are aligned. All the planets are aligned. You got 5. You got 7 that day. You pitched 100 people, right? That does happen. Sometimes you'll pitch 100 people and you won't sign up anybody. That does happen too. That's the outliers. This is the average. This is the average. So if you're always wanting to look to sign up 4, 5, 6 people daily, then you need to talk to 500, 600 people daily. That's how you keep your averages in control. That's how you stay in control. If you're just pitching 100 people, you can't expect a blowout awesome day every single day. It's just not going to happen. Kiss the deal. KISS. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sweet, stupid, right? Just keep it short and simple. The best way I've ever heard this explained is, if you can't explain it like you would explain it to like a 5th grader, you don't really understand it, right? You got to keep everything simplified, right? Or maybe you're explaining it to your grandma, because 5th graders are pretty smart nowadays. So maybe you're like explaining it to how to use the iPad to grandma. Are you going to sit there and discuss all the different settings and preferences and all these different little intricate details, or you're just going to say, okay, we're going to hit the big button now, right? And then this is what we're going to do. We're going to click on the thing that it's a circle with the color that has the rainbow colors on it, right? So you just keep it really simplistic. Because when you keep it long and lengthy, you start killing the deal. So you want to kiss, not kill. Long and lengthy is getting into benefits, getting into incentives, going into details that are not necessary. When you're learning how to do this, in the beginning of your presentation, you're going to do what's called discovery questions to understand your customers' hot spots and their pain points, all right? Now, your product or service, it's awesome, it's the best. And it's probably got 20 or 30 or 50 benefits and everything, and it's all sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, and it's freaking awesome and blah, blah, blah. But the customer really only cares about 2, 3, 4 things, max. So you need to identify what those are out of your 50 great benefits, and really just hammer on those and talk about just those things that the customer or your future client or prospect actually cares about. You keep it short, you keep it simple. Another part of kissing the deal is, I've made this mistake myself, and I'm telling some people that may be around for a little bit. You close the deal, you got the signature, everything's great, and you are such a great master relationship builder that you just keep talking and you keep having a friendship, but you're also a salesperson, so you just start going into selling mode even though the deal's already closed. You gotta break up and shut up. You gotta get out of there, all right? You can't sit there after closing the deal and then keep talking about benefits and incentives and all this thing and the other thing and all the, oh, I forgot this, I forgot to tell you about this. You're gonna kill your deal. The customer's gonna start thinking, this is too good to be true, and they're gonna back out, all right? So remember that after you close the deal, close up shop, give them your contact info, and then get out of there, all right? Don't oversell it. Don't keep it long and lengthy. Have fun, make money. It's like the law of the universe here. The more fun you have, the more money you're gonna make. Seems kind of crazy, right? If you have a great attitude and a great work ethic, you're gonna have a great paycheck. It's just how it works. That's how commission works. Because when you're having fun and you're excited, you're going to get that reflected back to you by the people that you're interacting with, by the people that you're pitching and presenting to, all right? If you're bummy, if you're mopey, and you're negative, and everybody's telling you no, and you just think all these negative thoughts, you're right. You're right. Because your attitude stinks, and your work ethic probably stinks, because if you got a bad attitude, you're not going to be working hard. I already know that for a fact. Guess what else is going to stink? Your commission check, all right? You got a bunch of excuses. You got a negative outlook. You got a negative work ethic. You got a negative bank account. All right. So your attitude plus your work ethic equals your paycheck. Give it a shot. Maybe you haven't been bringing the best attitude, the best work ethic. Just give it a shot. Just 1 month. 1 month. Just bring your absolute best. Bring your A game every single moment of every single day. I mean, you got to be there anyways, right? You're at work, right? So you might as well just give it your all and see what happens. Appreciate y'all coming down. Hopefully you learned something. I put this little one-sheeter together so you can get kind of some of the basic terminology down early, quickly, instead of like me. I had to learn these things over time, just being exposed to them, hearing different people talk about this thing, that thing, what are C factors, what's kiss versus kill, law of averages, LOA is your best friend. I'd hear all these kind of things out there. And I didn't really know what anyone was talking about, so I just put this together to help you understand some of the basic terminology, some of the basic language of sales and wealth building. Thank you so much for coming down. Love y'all. We'll see you on the next one.